The sound of laughter echoed through the marble halls of Evergreen Community Bank. Grace Okafor stood behind the counter, her perfectly manicured nails tapping against the glass, as she leaned toward patients, whispering just loud enough for the other tellers to hear. Did you see what she tried to deposit? 200 cities. 200! I spend more than that on lunch. Patience covered her mouth, stifling a giggle. The customer, a young street vendor, hurried out with her receipt clutched in trembling hands. Grace watched her go, a satisfied smirk playing on her lips. This was her domain. Evergreen Bank's flagship branch in Accra's business district, where power was measured in account balances and respect was reserved for those who deserved it. The morning sun streamed through floor-to-ceiling windows, catching the gold lettering above the entrance. Dignity for all, the bank's motto, chosen by its founder 27 years ago. Grace had memorized it during training, recited it during her interview, then promptly forgotten what it meant. Grace, Mr. Boateng is heading to headquarters, Patience announced, checking her phone. He'll be gone all afternoon. Grace's eyes lit up. Perfect. That means I'm in charge. She adjusted her designer blazer, the one that cost her last month's salary. Worth it, though. Image was everything. The automatic doors slid open. An elderly woman shuffled inside, her faded kente cloth dragging slightly on the polished floor. She wore rubber sandals that had seen better days, and she leaned heavily on a wooden walking stick. Her head was wrapped in a threadbare scarf, and she carried a wrinkled envelope close to her chest. Grace's nose wrinkled. Patience nudged her, eyebrows raised in shared disgust. The woman approached the counter slowly, each step deliberate. The usual morning buzz of the bank quieted. Other customers glanced up from their phones, some stepping subtly aside to create distance. "Good morning," the woman said softly, her voice carrying the weight of years. "I would like to speak with someone about your community savings program." Grace didn't look up from her computer screen. "Madam, can I help you with something specific? We're very busy this morning." "Yes, I understand. I've been reading about Evergreen's mission. Mrs. Abena Mensah, your founder, she spoke about serving those who—" "Mrs. Mensah built this bank for serious clients," Grace interrupted, finally meeting the woman's eyes. "Clients with substantial deposits. Do you have an account with us?" The woman's fingers tightened around her envelope. "No, but I was hoping." "Then I'm afraid you'll need to start with our minimum balance requirement. That's 5,000 CDs. Grace's tone was practiced, the kind of polite dismissal she'd perfected over 3 years. "I see." The woman's voice remained steady, though her shoulders sagged slightly. "Perhaps I could leave some information for the manager, just for him to review when he has time." Patience leaned over, whispering loud enough for nearby customers to hear. "Grace, is she serious right now?" Grace sighed dramatically. "Madam, our manager is a very important man. He handles accounts worth millions. I don't think he has time to review. What exactly is in that envelope?" "A proposal for how the bank might expand its outreach to—" "A proposal?" Grace's laugh was sharp. "Madam, with all due respect, do you see where you are? This is Evergreen Bank, not a charity office. We have professionals who handle community initiatives. They have degrees, certifications. They don't accept proposals from—" She gestured vaguely at the woman's appearance. The elderly woman stood perfectly still. Something shifted in her eyes, a flicker of recognition or perhaps resignation. When she spoke again, her voice was quieter, but somehow stronger. I understand. Tell me, child, what do you see when you look at me? Grace blinked, thrown off by the question. I'm sorry? When I walked through those doors, what did you see? Madam, I don't have time for riddles. If you're not here to conduct actual banking business, someone not worth your time, the woman finished for her. Someone who doesn't belong in a place like this. Someone whose words don't matter because her clothes are old and her hands are rough from work. The bank had gone completely silent. Even the air conditioning seemed to hold its breath. Grace felt heat rising in her cheeks. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. The woman placed her envelope carefully on the counter. This was a test, child, not of your banking skills, but of something far more valuable. And I'm afraid you've shown me exactly what I needed to see. What are you talking about? Grace's voice rose defensively. Security! Kofi! Can you please escort this woman? My name is Abena Mensah. The words dropped like stones into still water. Grace's mouth went dry. Patience gasped audibly. Kofi, the security guard who'd been moving forward, froze mid-step. I'm sorry. What did you say? Grace whispered. The elderly woman straightened, and despite her humble clothes, there was suddenly something regal about her bearing. I said, my name is Abena Mensah. I founded this bank 27 years ago after every financial institution in this city told me the same thing you just told me, that I didn't belong, that people like me don't matter. Grace's hands began to shake. No, that's not. Mrs. Mensah is. She doesn't dress like a beggar, visit her own branches unannounced. The woman's eyes held infinite sadness. I do, Grace Okafor. I do it because I need to know if we've kept our promise. If the words above that door still mean something. She pointed to the golden motto. Dignity for all, not dignity for some. Not dignity for those who look prosperous. All. Patience had gone pale as paper. Other customers stared in horror, some recording on their phones. Grace felt the room tilting, her carefully constructed world cracking like thin ice. Mrs. Mensah, I didn't know. I would never. If I had known it was you. That's precisely the point. Mrs. Mensah's voice carried across the silent bank. If you had known it was me, you would have smiled, offered me tea, treated me with respect, but because you thought I was powerless, you felt free to be cruel. If you're enjoying this story of transformation and second chances, hit that subscribe button for part 2. The next part gets even more emotional.